with you? Fuck people! What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly! Oh my god!
Things that make you go, I think we've all seen that a few times, but we wanted to open with that because we're going to get into that a little bit more and find out why this may have happened and what maybe could have been done to avoid it. So anyway, let's talk about some stuff here today. Don't you think they're rude?
Yeah, let's dive in, baby.
All right. Welcome to the Rude Barn Podcast, everyone. It's a cold day today. Still icy.
Chilly out. Yeah. A little icy.
A little icy. Yeah, who's my buddy over here?
I'm the Rude Gang. And that over there, that's
the barn. How's everyone doing today? Man, it is one of those days, isn't it?
It is one of those days. It's one of those weeks, right?
It is one of those weeks. One of those weeks.
A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Lots of stuff going on, and it's just we thought we'd talk about a few things. We were kind of getting back into this again. We were so busy over the holidays that we really weren't able to do a whole lot of podcasting, and so we're finally back into this, and we're hoping to get into some more stuff. But there seems to be a few stories going on today, buddy. That
it's time to be back in the saddle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Or a bad time to be back in the saddle. I mean, I would like to be talking about, butterflies and ponies and unicorns, but they're not in the news, and this is in the news.
So. No, this is not in the news, so we didn't want to do anything like that. But anyway, well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, everyone, to the Rude Barn Podcast. First, let's get into this real fast. We're talking about our Etsy store, the rudebarn.etsy.com. We got a bunch of merch up there, as you can see, from hats to mugs to hoodies and shirts and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun stuff for women and men. Oh, there's some Marilyn Monroe stuff.
She's some Marilyn stuff, huh?
Was pretty hot. She's no longer around. And then just check. We got a lot of fun stuff we're putting up there. So check it out. Proceeds go to help the show a little bit. We don't make much, but we try to have a little bit of fun. And so enjoy that and check that out.
If you want to be one of the cool kids, you can get the Question Everything shirt right there on our Etsy store.
Oh, yeah. I have my patriotic shirt on today. It's not one of ours, but it's still
very patriotic of you. With the flag on the sleeve and everything. By the way,
we the people holsters.
By the way, gang, if you haven't shared, and subscribed, please do so.
That would be great.
It's not a lot to ask, but it helps us out.
And it's free to do, and it takes a second. Just click up the subscribe button, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up for us. It does help, and it gets it out there to a lot more people. And please share it. If you find that we're entertaining you a little bit with some of this information and everything else, which we try to do, because this is for entertainment purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to inform you at the same time. Best we can. We're not always right. We're not always wrong, but we do try to present both sides and give you an idea of what we're doing. And what you're not getting in the mainstream media for that matter. Right.
Well, and what you're never going to get, because we question everything and like to get to the bottom bottom basement of the stories and the people who are involved in them. And I think we do a pretty good job.
So today, brother, we are talking about the Alex Pretti situation. Was he not a peaceful protester, or was he a peaceful protester? Questions abound. Did he put himself in a bad situation? Could he have resolved this in a different way where he might still be walking around the streets today? And should he have been shot and killed? What would you have done if you were an ICE agent trying to apprehend and somebody was in the way and getting in? Did he deserve to get shot and killed? I don't know. We'll look into that.
Yeah, I didn't see any. So they said in our cold open video, they said peaceful observer. But
peaceful observer.
To me, if I was gonna say I'm just gonna be a peaceful observer, I would probably be on the sidewalk, peacefully observing. Maybe having my phone out, but I would not be yelling. I would not be blowing a whistle.
Well,
I would not be blowing off air horns.
Yeah.
I would be a peaceful observer, keeping to myself, minding my own business, maybe holding the sign up, observing.
Yeah. Protesting peacefully.
These were not peaceful observers.
No.
And I just have to say, if you break the peaceful rule, if you're going to a peaceful protest, then you have to, in my eyes, I guess you have to accept the consequences that come with your actions.
You have now opened a new door into a whole new world.
Doesn't 1 + 2 = 3, Barn? I mean, last I checked, I know
get
that
my
they're
calculator
doing
out on that one real quick.
Weird math today in public school, but I still think 1 + 2 = 3.
Yeah, you are correct, sir.
So there is going to be a ultimate consequence and answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree with this stance that was taken by these officers.
Yeah, because we want to hold them accountable for any overstepping their authority as well. Don't think that we are complete, like ICE and federal agent and FBI, CIA protectors, supporters, or whatever. I think they do have a job to do as long as they do it within the bounds of the law,
right?
Without violating the rights of citizens. That's one thing. We want to make that perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about.
Because the thing is I think
hold them accountable.
I think that what's happened here is the media has said either you're with ICE or you're against ICE. Period. There's no gray area.
Two things could be true in that, actually.
And I don't like that. I don't like that narrative because I can agree with the reason that ICE is out there. I can agree with the job they're doing. Do I agree with some of their actions? No, I do not.
No.
Do I agree?
They're going about things right now? Not necessarily. Yeah.
But here's another thing: is they are border patrol officers. They are not necessarily trained in crowd control.
Right.
So you're putting them in a situation, and I guess
because probably why they want to do this to begin with is to make them very uncomfortable in their positions.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And that's kind of the thing, and I'm kind of putting some of the blame on, Tampon Tim, because he said, made a declaration, go out there and protest, go out there and let them know that you don't like this. So he's telling his people to go out there and do these things. Whereas if they were just left alone to do their job, nobody would be the wiser. And guess what happened? A few years back, when a president named Barack
Hussein Obama,
when he started doing this, nobody was the wiser.
Protesting about it, did you?
No.
That is interesting.
Not
Well,
at all.
interesting you mention him because we do have some videos of that. So if you don't believe us that the current not Homeland Security, but the current what's Tom Homan's position again?
Borders are.
Border czar. It was appointed by Obama, was given an award by Obama. Obama deported within forceful and voluntary deportations in his period of tenure, deported over 5 million people.
Over 5 million.
Now, Trump has only deported about 400 to 500,000, some of whom have self-deported because they realize, hey, I'll take that $1,000, $10,000 cash payout to leave peacefully and go back to where I was from because now I'll live a decent life, for at least for a little while, and did that. So I think we have a lot of things at play here, and we have people like Tampon Tim. We've got people like Jacob the douchebag Fry, mayor of Minneapolis, who let the George Floyd riots get out of control. His city burn. He is a simp beyond all simps and tries to appease to the minority type communities like the Somalis, like these other groups, and pander to them over the interests of the majority of his constituency, his
and
public,
voters.
and the voters, right? And so when these people go out there and say the things they do about ICE is the Gestapo, ICE is, the SS, the brown shirts. They are evil. They should not be taking people, citizens off the street. Well, they're not. I don't really see any, and I could be wrong. Please put in the comments if you have seen a story and can verify that ICE has taken a citizen of the United States, not somebody who's here, who hasn't, broken any other laws than entering our country illegally, which is a crime in and of itself.
It's a crime.
Doesn't matter the
Last
misdemeanor or felony or whatever, civil or criminal, it doesn't matter. They've still broken the law. You run through a stop sign, you've broken a law. Okay, people, let's get that straight. So, you have these people agitating these guys. These guys are very well informed and they are very well organized. And we've all seen the signal chat group chats that they have, where they have lookouts who say, oh, here's the license plate of the SUV that just left the ICE office or the federal facility that they are leaving to go get these criminal aliens, people who have done more than just come into this country illegally. They've committed a crime here, whether violent crime, rape, pedophilia, murder, burglary, they've been robbing a place, whatever. Those are the people that the ICE agents are supposed to be and supposedly going after. And I haven't heard really any credible stories of them taking a 5-year-old boy off the street or arresting criminals or killing, citizens, or killing citizens or anything else like that. So we have these people agitated and they're going to, and they're blowing those damn freaking annoying whistles and honking their horns. So was Alex Pretti just a casual observer? Well, in that last video we just saw in the opener, looked like he was involved in a few things and interfering with stuff.
Interfering with operations. He inserted himself into a situation that was not directed toward him.
Well, he had no place to be in the first place.
No place to be in. Yeah.
And whether he agreed with what they were doing or not, he had no place to be there. That was not his place.
And if he was a peaceful observer, he would have, I guess, I would say that as a peaceful observer, then you need to kind of abide by what, within those bounds.
Right.
And when you step out of those bounds and insert yourself into something that is, not your problem, not your, wasn't directed toward you, then I think that I'm sorry to say, but you've got to pay the price.
Right.
And like we said before, I mean, you can't go into a situation and escalate it with your actions and then not expect some sort of reaction,
And
whether it be
consequence.
negative or positive, and consequence. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, again, we said, do we believe that he needed to be shot 8 times? I
No,
don't. I don't.
not even
I think that
once.
was
Not
right. I
even
think
once,
that was
probably.
a little overkill, if I may.
But can I
But
interject real quick?
of course,
But if you were a cop in that situation and you had somebody that you didn't know what was going on and you saw a weapon in his pocket, like he did, and you thought he was yeah, I mean, things are going really fast. Your adrenaline is pumping. You got people honking, yelling at you. You're trying to just do your job. I'm not worrying about you. I'm trying to arrest the illegals that are over here.
right.
You don't know
Like,
what
this
you would
shouldn't
do in that
even
situation.
be, yeah, this shouldn't even be my problem here.
Right.
I'm here to do a job.
Yeah.
You guys are interfering with my ability to do that. So now I got to take my attention and switch my whole way of thinking and worry about maybe violent protesters and crowd control that could get out of hand very easily. Obviously, we saw that. Now I'm dealing with this, and I can't even do my job.
Right.
Like, all I wanted to do was go in and grab this criminal, cuff him, and leave.
Yeah.
But you guys have made this to where now
Blown it out of proportion.
I literally have to watch my back and have somebody else watching my 6. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm watching my other buddies back too. Yeah.
Right. And you're making this situation a lot more difficult for these officers and a lot more difficult for decision making in like those, critical times where, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yep. Well,
It will get shot.
And it's like, okay, so I kind of equate it to a bar fight that you're not involved in, but you see 2 guys scuffling and maybe their buddies are helping each other and there's 3 or 4 on each side that are fighting and excuse me. And now you want to get into the fray and you want to get involved. So you have one of 2 choices. A, stay the hell out of it. Stay the fuck out. Or get involved knowing that something can happen to you while you're trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
So chances are you might catch a fist in the face, or you might get a shiv in the side or a stab in the belly if somebody happens to have a knife, or if somebody else
might
has
get
a
a
gun.
ball to the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that split second, you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you got to accept the consequences if you're going to get involved.
Exactly. You have to accept the consequences.
Yeah. And that, which means you could get killed yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, you
in a simple somebody's fight scuffle.
Somebody's arm could fling around, catch you in the throat, and cut off your windpipe. You're dead.
Done.
Okay. That's what could happen. So you have to understand, did you deserve to die? No, but you shouldn't have really gotten involved in something you shouldn't have gotten involved with.
Yeah.
Take a photo, take a video, take all the stuff you want, take it to the courts, and hopefully the courts can sort it all out. But this is where Alex did not do that. He got in the middle of a bar fight he had no business being in.
Exactly.
Did he deserve to die? No, but shit happened. That arm came around, that knife swung around, got him in the throat, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex wasn't immune to being the VA nurse who was so compassionate for people all the time. And he probably was during his job. And he was probably very good at it. I have no idea. I'm going to assume being a nurse, that's the industry and the profession you want to be in. You want to do that. You want to help people and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to disagreeing with a stance that somebody else has, or with something like this, then you get all up in people's face and violent about it. Then you've now switched over to Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll, now you're Mr. Hyde.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Now, this is the Hyde part of you.
Yes. So let's show a little video of what kind of happened a week and a half or so prior to this whole thing happening, because I don't think many of you have seen what happened to him on the 13th of January. What was that, about 2.5, 3 weeks ago now? Something like that. And let's watch this. And then if this doesn't show everything, which I'm pretty much sure it doesn't, I'm going to show you the next one, which shows a little bit more. Now, why did that ICE agent just jump out of the car and just go grab him there? Rude. Did you see him do anything in this video? This little short we have right here?
Yeah.
Thank God the whistles and the horns and everything and the screaming are not annoying.
Right.
Either.
Yeah.
Luckily. And imagine this like all day long while you're trying to do your job, just getting people who are not supposed to be in this country.
Yeah.
You okay? You okay? You okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Are we all okay? Are we all safe? We okay? Yeah. Not me.
Are we all safe? Are we all okay? Now,
yeah. And,
why
and
did
this
they
is
go
what the media
after him,
put
dude?
out. That's the first video that the media put out.
Yeah. So I'm just was like wondering what prompted the ICE agent to get out of the car, because usually they don't just go after you if you're yelling at them, and all of that stuff. So maybe let's see if this one shows a little bit more, because we have to listen to the sound, because those horns and the whistles are great.
Agents.
Yeah, we can't get enough of those.
13,
Yeah.
11 days before he was
Did he just
fatally
kick
shot.
out
The video shows him kicking a vehicle and agents tackling him to the ground. The video does not show what happened before the incident. Tonight, a representative for Alex Pretti's family confirming this newly released video shows him interacting with federal agents on January 13, 11 days before he was fatally shot.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the reason. Did you?
Oh, well, maybe that's why the agent got out of the car and ripped him to the ground.
I wonder how
he's
many.
lucky he didn't get arrested,
saw
because
that.
that's what, defacing public property there?
That is also I don't know all the rules, but I mean you're attacking an officer, you're provoking, you are destroying property, federal or state or local,
federal government, property,
law enforcement property. At that point, you can agree with those laws all you want or disagree all you want. The fact is that's what they are. Change the laws if you don't like it. But yeah, he was doing that, and so it's like, oh well. Who knew all of that was going on? So, well. Look what we have here.
And see, and that's kind of the thing. I mean, that first video shows an innocent man getting ripped to the ground.
Innocent, completely peaceful protester.
Completely
innocent.
Observer.
Casual
yeah,
observer.
being, peaceful observer.
Yeah.
And, but when you dig into it a little bit more, you see that he was bearing the consequence of his action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry, you kicked my taillight out of my car. You're probably going to receive some sort of response like that.
Oh, you're getting a black eye. I guarantee you.
Guarantee. So what does the media do? Well, they don't show that part of it conveniently, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you see a video segment or you see a cop running after a black guy that they just pulled over and they shoot at the black guy or something like that, but you only see it from that one point where he's running or something like that.
He's running. Yeah. Starts running.
What happened to 5 minutes before that?
Right. That's the thing is you
That we
start
never
building a narrative that this person was completely innocent.
Yeah.
No, that person was not innocent.
Nope, not one iota. Usually,
ICE agents, cops, they don't run after people and try to detain them, throw them to the ground or whatever for no reason.
For no reason. They don't have time to mess with you. I'm trying to arrest the illegal.
Exactly. Like this,
or the guy who just burglarized your house, or what? I mean,
Dude. Mm-hmm.
But here's how the media spins it, and let's. There's a couple segments on this. There's one with Anderson Cooper next, talking to another, and they put the sympathy on this guy to make him out to be this victim. And yes, he was a victim, but not in the way that you think, because, hey, we all just saw what we just showed you, and him kicking out the lights, spitting on the cops, everything else.
He was not an innocent bystander.
And then he did it again a week and a half later, and he got killed for it. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's right. But he put himself in that position that he should not have been in. Just saying.
Exactly.
So let's listen to Michael Strahan here.
video that has surfaced leading up to the fatal shooting of Alex Pretti. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is here with the details. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Michael. This new video shows protesters and observers on the scene 6 minutes before the fatal shooting of Alex Pretti. Those protesters and observers sounded whistles as federal officers assembled by a donut shop to begin an immigration enforcement action. You can see the officers prepare.
Was it important that they assembled by a donut shop and they happen to be cops? Was that important to the story?
Oh my God.
Wondering. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
Air pepper spray in this video. Pretti arrived a few moments later and is seen holding a cell phone, seemingly to record the ICE operation.
Of course,
shortly after he was shot and killed, Homeland Security investigations said the FBI arrived to collect evidence, including Pretti's phone and the gun he had a legal permit to carry. Officials have not said what's on Pretti's phone or whether it could help determine whether the officers reasonably believe they were under threat. Customs and Border Protection officers involved in the death.
But how would they know with all the chaos going on whether they were an imminent threat or not? These guys are in their faces 24/7 every time they're out.
Yelling, screaming, spitting, cussing.
Telling them off, yeah. I mean, after a while, think about it. After a while, how would you react if somebody was in your face about something that you believed in that they don't believe in, or whatever, however you want to look at it? I was just like, get the hell out of my face.
Dude, I would be tuned up. And that's the things, like they start pushing them away. Yeah. And, or pepper spraying them or something to get them to shut the hell up.
Well, speaking of pepper spray,
I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my
We're
face.
wearing body cameras. The agency says the footage is preserved,
spray you just
but
talked
it's unclear when or whether the public's going to see it.
So with that pepper spray, in your opinion, as well as mine, is that a reasonable response to try to
de-escalate
calm the situation, defuse it, so that you wouldn't have to escalate to where it ended up going?
I would think so.
Now, did Alex Pretti decide to say, "Oh, I'm being pepper sprayed, I better leave"? No, he stayed there and interfered with the officer, whether he thought he was hitting this other citizen or whatever. Again, it wasn't his place to do that, right? Yeah, let's listen a little more.
So, state officials have asked a federal judge to order the preservation of all the evidence, saying they have serious concerns the Trump administration is capable of a thorough, transparent, and unbiased investigation. But the Justice Department argued, guys, that the courts should not be micromanaging.
Like they never do in any other situation from an
Did
Obama
he really
or Biden-appointed federal judge.
Did he really say unbiased?
Unbiased? I think he could probably do as much of an unbiased investigation as anybody else could.
But you're reading a script, right?
Well, yeah.
That was pre-written for you.
I can't believe he just freaking said that. Oh, I can. But I'm just saying it as I can't.
I mean, the irony is blowing me away here.
It's dripping. So that's one spin. Yeah, that's just one spin. Let's listen to this guy named Al Anderson Cooper and see what he has been talking about with this as well.
We're at the location where Alex Pretti was shot to death yesterday.
The sympathy card we're playing right now.
Hours
Watch this.
ago. There are probably about 24 or so people here right now. People have come, lit candles. The smell of vanilla is actually all over the scene because
oh my God,
vanilla candles which have been lit. There's signs saying "Justice for Alex Pretti."
When are we burning Minneapolis down for Alex Pretti now? Can you believe this horse shit?
I have not seen this video, and this is
didn't either until I
so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little, listen a little more. But then there's another interview that Anderson does with this other observing witness who starts to get in tears as well. Am I cold-hearted and whatever? I would have sympathy if he got caught in a crossfire, if he was just an observer and all that stuff. But when he inserted himself into a situation like this, I don't wish for him to be dead right now by any means. Make that perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's a lot of situations people get into that come out with very horrible results, and it shouldn't have happened, but it happened. And there's the thing called the Darwin Awards, where people do stupid shit and get killed, and you just sit there and go, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Should have done stupid shit.
Maybe you shouldn't have done stupid shit. So let's get a little more here.
There's a lot of concern, obviously, about any kind of investigation that is being done, and real doubts about what sort of investigation federal officials are actually doing.
But there were no doubts on whether it was going to be an official investigation when Trump was up for, and I'm not saying Trump's the Teflon Don, oddly enough.
He's not squeaky clean.
No, but they weren't worried about whether he was going to get a fair trial when it came to the author lady, what's her, Eugene Carroll, when he was up for, the $18 million overestimation that Letitia James thought, the Georgia case with Fannie Willis. Nobody worried that was going to be a fair trial or a fair investigation. But now all of a sudden, because it's actually Trump, they're worried about it. Do you not see the hypocrisy in this, people?
Yeah.
This is the, oh my God.
It's
you just listen.
TDS.
And this is why I don't have sympathy for them. Yeah. You were saying, sorry?
I said it's classic TDS.
Yeah. Oh.
And by the way, how many jackets does Cooper have on right there?
I think he's got 12
it's a
layers.
Jacket over a vest, over probably like a shell thing, probably a sweater underneath that.
So
come
one
on, man.
here,
it's not that
2
cold.
here, 3. He probably has a couple t-shirts on underneath that as well. Hey, granted, it's freaking butt ass cold in Minnesota right now. So I get it. But if it was really cold, why is he not wearing a beanie?
Put a beanie on, bro.
Earmuffs or something.
Earmuffs.
Fur, real grizzly bear fur, muffs, earmuffs, or wolf. How about wolf fur?
Yeah, wolf. It's good and exotic.
Something like that. Maybe kind of fun. But let's listen a little more of this. Just the sympathy that we're putting out for a guy who shouldn't have been. Don't get me wrong. You can mourn him. You can all that stuff. You can mourn him by saying, "Oh man, I just really wish he wasn't in this situation that he got himself into, and he'd be here today." Yeah, that's how you should mourn him.
That's how you should say it in your head and to other people.
Yeah,
man.
But I don't think I'd be putting candles down on the freaking street in this memorial for a guy who was doing stupid shit.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Here,
exactly, sir.
State investigators who would normally, in a shooting like this, be the ones investigating what happened. They were denied access yesterday, they say, even though they had a signed search warrant to gain access to the scene. They were denied access by federal law enforcement who are on the scene.
He goes on. It's very difficult.
It's annoying.
It's so freaking annoying. And then they continue, dude. They continue. It's a media push, and this is what if you're on this side, if this is your team that you're on and you're sympathetic to it, it's like you can do no wrong on your side, and everything that's on the other side, the Trump side, the MAGA side, the conservative, the Republican side, is bad. But everything you do, totally above board, totally legal to do. I have the right to do it, yada yada yada. Do we not see the hypocrisy here? This is why we try to call out both sides on things, and we're going to actually do that in a little bit here. But here's our media bias going on, and this is Anderson yet again, and it looks like he took off most of those layers, by the way.
I wonder if it's the same day.
Now he's inside. And see, just a long sleeve thermal.
Yeah, well, you got to have your base layer.
Exactly. So he's interviewing this key witness. Apparently, she's not just a witness; she's a key witness. Difference. Apparently, there's a difference. Just saying.
The neck like
her,
neck wrap like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see what she has to say with that little big scarf around her neck. Let's check it out.
They're talking about the number of shots. Is that the last 5 shots or so, or actually from a distance where he appears already lying on the ground, not moving? Do you remember that? Again,
I stand corrected. I think he has yet another shirt underneath the thing.
It's maybe a wife beater.
Very important for the interview. Just letting you know.
And this is happening in.
I mean,
5 to
honestly,
10
Alex
seconds.
being shot is the most memorable part of it.
She talks about Alex like she's, his wife.
Like they were friends.
Or friends. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
The agents are not a part of that, I think, because I watched him die. I mean, I watched him die. I remember him arching his...
Nobody should have had to have done that. You shouldn't have had to see that, lady.
Was this the lady that he pushed out of the way?
I don't know.
Or was this?
It was just somebody. It says key witness who recorded Pretty's fatal shooting on her phone speaks out. So I don't believe she was there. I think she was either across the street, away from that ruckus.
Yeah, she was probably the footage that we got from the sidewalk on that other side.
Yeah, maybe a different.
Because honestly, that's the first time that I've saw that angle.
Yeah, and it could have been her. So this is why she's a key witness.
Key witness.
Just saying. Yeah.
His back and his head rolling back, and he looked. It was so fast moving, but not for me. Like.
But do you think it might have been for ICE agents that were around him who didn't know what the hell was going on because everything was going 90 miles an hour for them, and they didn't know what the hell was going on, and like, I'm sorry, if you have a friend who is a cop and they ever have been in a situation where they've life and death, and it's either the bad guy or me, guess who's getting it?
Yeah.
I'm going home to my family. I'm sorry.
You figure from like when they started backing away and shots were still being fired, you figure there's like 4 of them and each of them taking 2 shots. That's 8 rounds right there. Right.
Yeah.
Let alone what else was fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, that's your count right there. And that's not one agent, emptying his clip on this guy.
Right.
It's
a couple double taps from a couple different agents.
Exactly. To make sure the perp is down.
Because I'm going home to my family, motherfuckers. Okay. I am not going to let somebody, I have no idea if he's going to be able to pull out a gun, that gun that's in the back pocket or whatever, and kill me before I get a chance to kill him. I'm sorry. If it's me killing you before you kill me, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you can make that into a rhyme if you would like. Just saying.
Limerick.
When they left, when they fled, which now I see, that after the shooting, they decided to just scatter and save themselves.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm going to save myself. What? What do you expect me to do? Stick around and hope that maybe I get a ricochet bullet in my chest?
Yeah,
or if he's still alive? I mean,
I don't know.
She's a freaking moron. I'm sorry.
I'm getting on my walkie and saying, "Man down, get here." You know what I mean? Call an ambulance.
Yeah, but I'm also moving away from the paddy situation.
Yeah. And then securing the perimeter.
Right.
That's what you do.
Yeah. See, this observation is from somebody who has no idea about how this, and I've never been in that situation, but I can certainly imagine what I would do. I would be backing away, getting myself in a safe, secure position so I'm not putting myself in danger any further than what has happened already. I'm sorry. I'm not hanging over the body of the guy I just shot, who I have no idea if he's actually dead yet or not, who may still be able to kill me. You got to look at it from the other side, lady.
Yeah.
But she doesn't, because it's TDS.
And I know a lot, and I have family that are, veterans, and have seen battle. Police officers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know these guys. I know what they go through. I know what runs through their heads.
Yeah.
It's
survival of the fittest, in a sense, basically.
It is. And then protect the innocent. You know what I mean? But you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that if there's gunfire going on. You don't know where it's coming from. It may be coming at you. In that situation, you protect yourself. It's like putting the mask on yourself before you put your mask on your kid. You know what I mean? When the plane's going down, you have to take care of yourself first.
So you can.
So you can. Yeah. So you can take care of everybody else after.
Yeah. So when she says, and to save themselves, of course they are.
Idiot.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Watching him die, and then after, you know, I've watched people die before in more of a calculated and planned way. Like, you know.
Really? How so?
How? When?
Hospice in
Hospice?
various ways.
Oh, hospice.
Hospice.
So old
Oh,
people
yeah.
dying.
Pulling the
who
plug.
are going to die anyway, because unfortunately they're old, and that's what happens when we get old, is we eventually die, right? Not even the same.
They didn't insert themselves into a situation that they shouldn't have been in. They were just
hard to roll that wheelchair and the walker up to an ICE agent and get in the way while he's getting your other guy who's with the cane on life support.
Not very many of
holding
them
his
are
IV drip.
Yeah,
I mean,
not many of them are wheeling their wheelchair down a flight of stairs.
Yeah,
willy-nilly.
Lady, I'm through with her. She's annoying me.
Right.
I've already been annoyed. So let's get a picture of Alex, because I don't know if anybody really kind of knows what he looks like. Let's get a good picture of Alex right here. So this is the actual picture of Alex. Actually, I'm going to do it this other way. This is the actual picture of Alex. And he is this charming young gentleman right here. 37 years old. Would you like to see how the media has changed things for him and I don't know, presented him in a it's like an embalmer getting a body ready for an open casket funeral?
No, the media wouldn't doctor photos, would they?
You mean that?
Did they do that? Oh, what a handsome young fellow.
Wow, he looks exactly the same. Here's one together. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's zoom in a little bit.
Look at that.
Here's the original. Here's the new guy. How many women, because a lot of you women are writing love letters to the serial killers like the Menendez brothers way back in the day and Ted Bundy and all that. How many of you would write a love letter to this guy on the left as opposed to this guy on the right?
Wow.
Are we garnering a little more sympathy here?
You
know who else that they altered a photo of?
They wouldn't, would they?
What?
They wouldn't. They never would.
Well, Joe Rogan was calling this out because look at the editing. Look, you changed the guy. It's basically, but what they did to Joe was completely different. They did it the other way around. And there's Joe, the original on the right, where he looks like he's healthy even in the sun. Now here he is on the left, looking pretty jaundiced.
Yeah.
And sickly, more so. Was that on purpose? Because Joe went against their narrative saying that ivermectin, which by the way, is a cure-all for a hell of a lot of shit, including COVID and possibly even cancers.
Well, you can tell
what I've heard.
Yeah, and this is
they
use shit designers though too, because the background, they even deadened out the trees and the greenery. Yeah, greenery behind it is not
blurred
so
his
green.
face a little more. Look at his shirt. You can see the texture in his shirt right over here on the right. You can't see the texture. It's all blurred out. So not only did they blur it, you absolutely good observation. It's almost like you were a designer.
Almost like I've done it for 25 years.
And then they washed out the color. They desaturated his face so he looks sickly. And then, of course, the facial expression that they caught in the 30 frames per second, they picked out frame number 18 or whatever it was.
The one that looks like he's ready to pass out.
Right. Where in like a half a second later, he would have been, straight on smiley face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight on smiley face. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this shit is just unbelievable. But if you can't tell from these two things alone, Alex Pretti right here, and from worst to good, And this one from good to worse.
Well, and that's kind of
But
the
no
thing.
media manipulation here.
So just in those two examples alone, you have to accept the fact that you are being fed bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's why we do this, because me and Barn can
bullshit.
smell bullshit from a mile away.
Yeah.
Especially when
smelling
it
that?
is, especially when it's shoved down our throats, right? You're like, wait a minute. They're trying a little too hard to make me believe something.
Yeah.
Let me do a little bit of deep dive in here, And that's
deep dive here a little bit
more. And I think and that's one of the main reasons why me and Barn do this, because a lot of people don't do their due diligence on that, and they just take everything
at face
value.
Yeah.
And because it's the news, we have to trust it. We have to trust what they're telling us.
The trusted source.
They're keeping us safe. You went with the COVID narrative because they said we have to lock down.
Yeah.
We have to,
it's the only way you're going to stay safe. And the only way you can live is to take our little jab. Nothing else will work.
And they
Joe
told
Rogan
us that.
was vilified.
That's the thing. They told us that because that's what they were told to tell us
by the people Pfizer who were paying them.
Exactly. And that's what you have to understand. They're
Follow the money.
They're telling us what they're told to tell us.
Yeah.
And if you're not questioning that, if you're taking that as gospel, then you're really missing out on the big picture. Yeah. And and you're actually putting yourself in harm's way by doing that. Like in an overall sense, I think that, because just look at this.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pretti was fed a narrative that he bought into, and he thought he was doing the right thing. So he went out there, wanted to have his voice heard, inserted himself in a shit situation, and look where it got you. It literally got you killed.
Well, that's what
because of a narrative that you bought into, because you took everything for face value.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at the good woman who was killed in her car a couple weeks ago. Also, Renee Good. Look what happened to her. She thought she was doing the right thing. Oh, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to keep these guys from taking citizens off the streets. Why are you keep saying citizens off the streets? They're actually supposedly illegal. Should be going after illegals. And I believe they are for the most part. For sure. Yeah. So, you mentioned something before, and it was about if you're against, if you're for these ICE regs, going after illegals, you're for ICE. If you're not, it's like a black and white.
Yeah,
ICE
they want to make it a black and white.
Only good, or ICE can do only bad.
Right.
Well, a lot of you people who never answer that question about your good old buddy Joe Biden when he was president. Is there anything wrong with Joe? Do you think Joe's a little slower than he should be? Do you think he's mentally out of it more? Do you think that? Do you think some of the policies of the open borders were good? You can never criticize him if you're on his side. Whereas although we support Trump, we don't support everything he does or says by any means.
Right.
He is a much better option than what we would have had or could have had if Cackles got in, or anybody else like their new scum. But we will call him out. And here's something that I vehemently disagree with, what Trump was saying. And he's talking about the investigation and what he said about the shooting. And I can't remember if I think this is the one where he talks about him carrying a gun and things like that.
Republicans are joining Democrats, calling for a full investigation into the killing of Alex Pretti by Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis.
Surprised they didn't use that other picture of him.
Yeah, no shit.
What we're seeing on TV, it's causing deep concerns over federal tactics and accountability.
And you know what? I agree with you. We need to make sure that our law enforcement, federal, local, and state, are not overstepping their bounds. Absolutely. I agree. To make sure.
Yeah.
So no problem with that.
Senator Bill Cassidy calling the situation disturbing, writing the credibility of ICE and DHS are at stake. Senator Lisa Murkowski
they
adding
are.
ICE agents do not have carte blanche in carrying out their duties.
Well, I haven't seen them really have too much carte blanche, but
Maybe they don't have
do.
carte blanche. However, when you're putting my life in danger and you are gathering to impede my duties as an officer,
and even my life,
you're putting my life in danger. You're putting my safety in danger. Therefore, I'm going to protect myself.
Yeah,
that's not taking carte blanche. That's protecting yourself and your officers.
Exactly.
Others taking issue with how quickly the Trump administration made an assessment, labeling Pretti a domestic terrorist without providing any evidence.
Like no other administration has ever done that with anybody ever in the history of ever.
Hey, man, that's the thing. If you're impeding on a federal investigation, then you are a domestic terrorist. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe not that far, but you're committing criminal activity.
You're obstructing justice.
Yes.
If you don't agree with the justice, change the justice. But you can't
go to the courthouse. Yell at them there.
You can't change the law in your head because you just disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
Change the law. But don't change the law as it is now in your world because you don't agree with it. You know, I mean, yeah.
John Mitnick, who served in President Trump's first term and helped establish the Department of Homeland Security, criticizing the agency, saying, "I'm enraged and embarrassed by DHS's lawlessness, fascism, and cruelty."
Okay, comments like that don't help.
No, they don't.
That never should have been said by him, to be honest with you. You would never get this out of a Democrat administration throwing their other administrative folks under the bus like these guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you pandering to, John Mitnick? Are you pandering to the left again? I would say, look, you know, we fully intend to make sure that everything was done by the book. We support our officers. If there was any violation of trust and violation of duty or anything else, we will address it accordingly. And and if any punishment needs to be brought down, it'll be brought down accordingly as well.
Mm-hmm.
But to do this, you're feeding into the lawlessness, fascism, and cruelty. You have now stoked the fire even more.
Well, it's almost like he wanted to be the first to create this narrative so he could be on top of it, so he could lead the charge in whatever bullshit agenda that he's got under his coat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what that feels like.
But we're also not saying that you shouldn't call out the administration for something that they are doing wrong. Like the Democrats seem to never do either.
Yeah.
By the way.
But here's the problem. That word, the fascism, that word
thrown
has
around
been
like
coined,
racism, dude.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that has been coined, you know, as a mudslinger by the left since Trump's first term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now we're getting back to that.
Yeah.
And you know, and you're on the red side calling other reds fascists? Really?
That's what I mean. You need to
That's why I have to
like
say
what I just said.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I have to wonder what else you got up your sleeve there, Mitnick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not, and we're not saying that we shouldn't be calling out lawlessness in our own administration or the federal law enforcement or anybody else.
Yeah,
absolutely we should.
There has to be
got to be held to that higher standard.
Yeah, you do.
But you also can't fuel the same rhetoric that the left is doing, because that doesn't help anything.
Exactly.
So Trump starts talking about this, and this is where he's talking about the his right to bear that arm during the protests. This listen a little more here. And Patel says,
but top Trump officials continue to double down. FBI Director Kash Patel suggested it is illegal to bring a gun to a protest.
You cannot bring.
We'll address this in a minute as well.
A firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple.
Overnight, President Trump telling the Wall Street Journal he doesn't like any shooting, adding, quote, "But I don't like it when somebody goes into a protest and he's got a very powerful, fully loaded gun with 2 magazines loaded up with bullets also. That doesn't play good either."
Trump always said a very powerful weapon. It's like, it was a handgun. It was a pistol.
Very powerful weapon.
The powerful weapon. Probably a
powerful pistol.
Probably a 15-round magazine. And he had like
clips.
multiple magazines.
And hollow point tip bullets. The most hollowest points.
The most hollowest. There's nothing in them. They're so hollow, there's nothing in them. Makes them very powerful. The fuck?
But other than being too descriptive, I agree with him.
Right.
Probably shouldn't have had an extra mag on you, bro.
How
I mean,
should this
you
have?
know,
How should have this really been said? But I don't like
probably
it when
shouldn't have
somebody
been
goes
locked and
into a
loaded.
protest with a fully loaded gun. That doesn't play good. Well, maybe that doesn't play well either. He could have taken out that middle section and same message, but he already over descripts and people call him out for it. Oh, he's a liar. He's a blah, blah. It wasn't powerful. It was just a regular pistol. Oh my God. Yeah, he fucking lied because he said it was powerful instead of,
Yeah, I mean, he says shit that people he literally feeds them the crumbs that they turn into mountains. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And that's his own fucking fault.
After a while,
yeah, exactly. That's his own fault. Lots of crumbs. I put the crumbs out there.
Cake out of all the crumbs I give you.
They can try to hook me and sink me, but they're never gonna hook me because I'm the biggest fish in the sea. Yeah,
the biggest, greatest, most powerful fish ever.
I have the most teeth. I have the most powerful jaws.
The strongest, most powerful teeth ever. You bite through steel.
I blow so much more water than anybody else does.
Exactly.
But again, literally everybody I know, like my core group of friends, they all carry on a regular basis. They all have concealed.
Yeah.
You know what they don't do? Carry extra mags.
Yeah. Because they don't.
And they don't carry their weapon locked and loaded.
Yeah. There should never be one in the chamber.
There's never one in the chamber.
You just got to cock it when you're ready to fire it, and then you're ready to go. You don't need to.
And that gives you an extra split second to decide whether you're justified in pulling that trigger or not.
And you know what? The scariest sound to somebody who's bugging you is this.
Chick, chick. Yep. And then guess what?
Okay, man. Yeah, I didn't mean to call you a name and, whatever.
Situation de-escalated.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit more about this.
Minnesota officials say Pretti was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
Wait, okay. Hold on one second. So Kyle Rittenhouse, who I agree probably shouldn't have brought a rifle to the Kenosha, Wisconsin deal.
Yeah.
Although it's probably a good thing he did, or he might not be here either. But you're alluding to the fact that Rittenhouse probably wasn't a lawful gun owner, but Pretti was. Only. And we'll get into that in a second too, because there's questions. Was he a concealed carry permit holder? Was he able to take the weapon to a protest? Was he lawfully able to blah, 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 all this stuff? We'll get into that in a second. We're not going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. That's a whole different thing. And that was hashed out in the court system. And for those of you who believe in the court system, because, you do, great, awesome. That was the verdict that came out. There's a lot of court cases that are determined by particular judges that we may or may not agree with, but we kind of take the final ruling as that's what it is. And if we don't like it, you go back on appeal, things like that. So anyway, that was that, but they're alluding to the fact that Pretti was a lawful gun owner. Okay, I'll assume that. Okay, great. Perfect. Let's move on.
A right protected under the Second Amendment. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey posting, carrying a firearm is not a death sentence. It's a constitutionally protected, God-given right. The NRA even...
Yes, but also no. Because if anybody out there who has a concealed carry permit, I believe like you and I both do, you also know there are limitations to how you can use that weapon in a situation or
lawfully.
That we want to say we're all about your right to bear arms, and that no government, no institution can take that right from you. But you all there's with rights come freedoms. I mean, freedoms come responsibilities. It all works together.
I was going to say it's responsibility.
We have a First Amendment right to say what we want up until a point. You can't threaten somebody, bodily harm, injury, or death, or anything to that effect, for one. So there are limitations to certain rights, to a lot of rights. And just like this, you have to have a responsibility in this protection of yourself and your family and everything else. So we just want to
there's a right. Yeah, there's a right to protect yourself. There's not a right to go out and just start letting off rounds and whoever gets hit because I have a right to have a firearm. No, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works by any means. I feel the vast majority, like 99.9 whatever percent of people out there who are gun owners, who have concealed carry permits or whoever, whatever, are pretty damn responsible in that regard. Because the amount of people who have weapons and the amount of weapons who are out there right now, you would see a hell of a lot more shootings than you do. You get it from really kind of the bad guys mostly.
Well, and this is where you see, the narrative getting pushed. We hate gun violence. Shouldn't have a gun. Too many guns. Take the guns away. Oh, but Pretti's allowed to carry because he was a lawful
all of a sudden
permit holder.
Yeah. But all of a sudden it's okay.
All of a sudden it's okay.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. You cannot have it both ways.
You can't pick and choose who has that right.
Right. And you can't pick and choose how they use it either. And whether they should have used it in whatever situation that they were presented with.
Right. Yeah. So
come on.
Here's a little NRA response as well.
Been speaking out, posting, responsible public voices should be awaiting a full investigation, not making generalizations and demonizing law-abiding citizens. The president's predecessor.
Okay, well, he was not a law-abiding citizen at this point.
Oh my God, dude. This is so contradictory. It's laughable.
Exactly. Where the hell are we going with this, people?
Where is this coming from? What is this news source?
This is Good Morning America, by the way, ABC News.
Good Christ. All right.
Go figure.
Keep going.
Protesters calling for it all to stop. Former President Barack Obama said the shooting should be a wake-up call to every American. And former
Really? How so there, Barack? That you want to take away all of our weapons, all of our rights to protect ourselves when 99.99% or more, whatever, percent of us would responsibly use that weapon to protect our homes and families?
But exactly, that's the thing. Okay, we'll take away. Say those rights were taken away at the beginning of the year.
Who would still have theirs?
Pretti wouldn't have that gun, right? Pretti wouldn't have that gun because that is now. Nope, we're taking the guns away. Can't have them.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Pretti wouldn't have that. He wouldn't have that gun, and guess what? He'd still be alive today.
Well, you know what? Here's a flip side to that. He could still have that gun, and if he had just stayed as a observer on the sidelines, filming the whole thing, saying, "Okay, I'm going to present this to an attorney, and we're going to go after ICE for their illegal involvement in trying to arrest criminals, illegals, and everything else." That's how you do it. You don't get in a scuffle over and over and over again with ICE agents or federal law enforcement, local law enforcement, or anybody else.
You don't blow whistles. You don't cuss. You don't spit at them. You don't kick out their taillights. You don't bring guns.
This all makes you
your
wonder.
peaceful protest. I mean,
Are they
come
pushing
on.
the gun control shit again with this whole thing? Of course they are. But
Oh,
yet one of theirs
they're
had
gonna,
it.
yeah, they're going to do it any way, shape, or form.
Of course they
But
are.
you're right.
This is it. And here, let's have former pedophile. Former sex offender. Former president.
Finger bigger.
Bill Clinton, former Lolita Express frequent flyer.
Oh, Wild Bill, dude.
Pedophile Island.
He's an animal, dude. He's
Allegedly.
an absolute animal.
Of course, I have no proof that he was ever doing that stuff. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, of course. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Exactly.
This is just our opinions.
Right.
Speculation. Pure speculation.
Yeah. So let's just see, because I'm not accusing him of anything, by the way. Just saying I've heard this, so maybe, it could be, maybe some of you would recognize a title that I have given him from many sources over the years. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bill Clinton. Yeah, that guy.
He's a real cowboy, that guy.
Exactly.
President Bill Clinton stating, at every turn, the people in charge have lied to us, told us not,
including you, Bill, over the years,
not to believe what we've seen with our own eyes.
Like they never done before.
Over on Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats are now trying to take a stand, saying they will oppose a Department of Homeland Security funding bill that could lead to a partial government shutdown by the end of the week, which means TSA.
God, which would be great. Oh, wait. Would it? Oh, yeah, probably. Except for the TSA thing and flying.
Agents
now
and FEMA response
throw it back
would
to the
be
TSA.
impacted.
Yeah.
But regardless, it will do.
Because, you've got to fly. And then if the government shuts down and TSA can't get you through that line in, 15 minutes instead of, 25 or 30, whatever.
Nothing to stop the $75 billion that Republicans have already passed and allocated toward funding ICE.
Yeah, I broke that down way too much. But that's okay.
I don't know if that's a lot to fund ICE. That's a lot. I honestly don't agree with that. That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. I'd like to see what's in that spending bill.
Yeah.
Because that 75 billion, where 50 billion of that could go?
Oh, lots of different places, I'm guessing you're going to say.
Public schools.
What? Why? We don't need to educate our children. We want them dumb enough to do what we say and to believe what we tell them.
Our teachers don't need more than minimum wage.
No, dude. I don't know what you're talking about there, but
good Christ. That kind of upsets me, to be honest.
Yeah. No, the amount of money spent on these government programs is ridiculous. Whereas you and I need to cinch our belts when times get tough. The government keeps increasing what they're spending, and they also increase what they send overseas to Ukraine, to Israel, to China, to all these other countries around the and then you've got DEI programs in here and LGBT programs here in Libya. I mean, it's just like, what the hell are we doing with our taxpayer dollars?
Doing here?
Why are we paying all this shit for shit?
I heard this figure, and this was like maybe a month ago, and this was staggering. And like, I guess not to get off on a tangent, but just to kind of bring that.
We never do.
Home. No, we've never done that.
No.
There was a figure about if we would have spent half of what we have given Ukraine, we could have ended homelessness in our own country.
But then look at all those people who'd be out of a job, dude.
Let that sink in.
I know.
Homelessness has been a problem since I was born. Like it's always been a homeless thing. And we got Face Down Park and we got North Temple. You can't walk down, it's always been a thing. And maybe I just live on that side of town, but it's always been a thing. And if you could have ended it with half of the money that you've given to Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, thank God there's no waste, fraud, or abuse in our tax.
Yeah. Thank God for that. Yeah. Thank God they're all being honest.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing. I mean, it's just like, but if we actually fix the homeless problem, then what would these people do who were in charge of fixing it? What's their next job? I'm out of a job. I have to have a problem.
Yeah,
so we're going to call out Yeah, we're going to call out these guys a little bit more, but this is the thing we're talking about. The Trump administration goes after Second Amendment rights in justifying Minneapolis shooting. So once again, we're twisting how we will observe the Constitution, how we will observe laws, and what we will attack or not attack, depending on our side.
Who it's good for. Yeah. In the moment. Who
And
it's good for.
Completely disagree with Trump attacking the Second Amendment. I believe, and we're going to look into this in a second, that if Pretti has a right to carry a firearm to a protest, according to Minnesota law, then he has every right to do that. Now, again, if he jumps into the fracas, and he gets involved in a situation, and unfortunately, this event happens to him, it's unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened, but he also put himself, Darwin Awards, he put himself in that situation. So I completely disagree with Trump's assessment. When I heard him say this, he shouldn't have been rounds. He shouldn't have had extra magazines. He shouldn't have been doing. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have, but he had the right to do it.
But he had the right to do it. Yeah. And he was doing it under the law,
Minnesota law.
in that state.
Yeah. So now we need to find out if he had a concealed carry permit, if he was legally able to carry a weapon. We'll get to that in a second. But here, at least, we have the NRA making a rare statement against the Trump administration over the shooting. I will link these articles all in here, and please like, subscribe, share, comment below what your thoughts are on this, because we'd like to hear it. We're not saying we are the end all of our opinion. It's merely our opinion. There might be information we don't have yet, so we can't make a true assessment of the situation per se, but we've tried to get into this a little bit more. So read through here, but they disagree with what Trump was saying, which I kind of agree with the NRA. It's like, you have the right to carry. How you use that, that's up to you, and that's going to be the consequence you suffer for your actions. So we'll leave that in there. So again, Alex Pretti isn't the soft-spoken, compassionate VA nurse all the time that he is being portrayed to be.
That headline
spit on the car
pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah.
That headline wraps it up right there.
Yep. Now this is exactly what they do.
Wow.
Why don't we change out this name right here and put in George Floyd? Right?
Yeah.
Put in
what's her name? Good or
Renee Good.
Come on.
Throw her name in there, because that's exactly what happened. So I'll have this article linked in here. We won't get into that. We want to wrap this up. Who is Alex Jeffrey Pretti, the anti-ICE protester fatally shot by the federal agents in Minneapolis? What goes in tells him he was 37, actively participating in anti-ICE protests following January 7th shooting of Renee Good. His dad said he felt that doing the protesting was a way to express that. His care for others. His care for others, but apparently not for himself, because he put himself in a bit.
Was he a vet? Was he a vet?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to look that up real quick.
Yeah, look and see if he is.
I want to see if he was a vet.
Yes, he worked in the VA hospital, but I don't know if he was a vet. I'll continue through some of these as you're looking that up. Here is, who is Alex Pretti, a VA nurse shot by Border Patrol during Minnesota protests. Assigned for blah blah blah. Somebody's killing a caregiver for veterans. Pretti obtained his nursing license in January 2021. Worked in the ICU. Attended nursing school, University of Minnesota. Described kind worker, mountain bike. He loved to ride his mountain bike. Okay, well, that's good for him. That's awesome. I am not seeing anything in this stuff. Okay, well, this is interesting. So his father, this is a one important part I wanted to talk about this. Police records show Pretti was only interactions with law enforcement involved traffic tickets, but Pretti's father, who warned him to be careful protesting, his dad had a head on his shoulder and brain in his head.
Yeah, somebody.
Michael Pretti said that the son cared deeply about people and was upset about immigration enforcement in Minneapolis. If you really cared about people, you would let these agents take off the predators and the criminals who are here illegally off of our streets,
of your streets,
so that your coworkers and your mother and sister and father and everybody else around you would be safer walking the streets of your freaking state.
Exactly. And that's how this narrative has twisted these people.
Twisted. Yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to throw that out there.
It says that Alex Pretti was not identified as a military veteran, but rather as a dedicated intensive care unit nurse at the VA medical hospital in Minneapolis. So,
okay, so
it's just so I asked that question because it is just so weird to me. Because like he's kind of a frail guy, you know, and you know,
looks like he has a lot of muscle mass on him.
Yeah, not really like an alpha male type, right?
Yeah, yeah, right.
It's just so weird to me that a male nurse,
well, that's
kind of, I mean, not really a man's man, but you know, loves the outdoors, you know. Okay, yeah. I get that, but he's a gun-toting.
I know where you're going with this.
Like it's just
it's
so
very
weird
contradictory.
It's very contradictory. You know what
One
I
of
mean?
these things doesn't go with the other.
It's just so right, and it's so weird. It's so 180. You know what I mean? For you to kind of be a soft sort of person and have this much caring and love for your fellow man and nature, and I love, you know, it's like a hippie carrying a pistol, like a concealed, with an extra mag. Like that shit does not add up to me.
Or you know, going up to a car and then kicking out the taillight of the police car,
right?
And spitting on the officers. Well, that shows a lot of love and caring right there. I can see. So my own eyes, Bill Clinton, my own eyes.
I could see like an IT guy doing that, because there's a lot of pent up frustration with IT guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. They got to get it out, man. They got to.
You're working in the dark in your parents' basement and trying to come up with new code and come up with new AI programs and shit like that. Yeah, you're a little frustrated working 20 hours a day on no sleep and Jolt Cola. If you remember Jolt Cola, Monster Energy,
Cola.
Well, his dad said, "Look, we had a discussion 2 weeks ago. So go ahead and protest, but do not engage. Do not do anything stupid, basically." Mm-hmm. And he said he knows that. He knew that. Yeah, Dad. I know. I can just hear it. He's the 12-year-old kid. Yeah, Dad. I know. You're stupid. I get it. I know that. I know. Mm-hmm. Remember, we all used to say that to our dads.
We've all done that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. You don't want to hear the lecture, you know, and he's a 37-year-old saying this.
But this was a week before or a week prior?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So you're telling me that the words of your father didn't rip through your head real quick?
No, because I know.
You engaged. Yeah.
Stop it, Dad. I know.
He seems like a stubborn 16-year-old.
Stop lecturing me.
Dad.
Let
me live my own life.
I know my life. Well, yeah, and it's he owned a handgun and had a permit to carry a concealed weapon in Minnesota. They said they had never known him to ever carry this damn thing ever. Interesting. So you can read more about this. We'll leave that in there, and we're going to finish up. So apparently, he did have a license to carry. Was he a paid protester? I haven't been able to find anything to counter this factually, or Snopes, or some of these other factcheck.org places or whatever, which are very one-sided leaning. And if you don't know what side that is, this is my right hand. Be that side. I'm not talking my right.
Yeah.
It says
this one has tattoos.
Yeah. It says there's no evidence that shows that he was a paid protester. So fine. I'll go off of
That's
that.
great.
I'll go
Okay,
off of
yeah.
that. Great. So here's a little more information, and then we'll wrap this up. Alex Pretti was a licensed gun owner in Minnesota. While carrying a gun openly is legal, he had a permit to carry a concealed firearm. His ownership status, licensed legal carry. He was a licensed gun owner. He had a permit to carry it. Pretti was shot. Oh, okay. Okay. Now they're just getting into that. And then no. So this is where we talk about Cash and Trump talking about the fact he shouldn't have been carrying it. Actually, that is incorrect.
And fact checking ourselves, which this is the thing.
This is what we get into at the very end.
We hold ourselves accountable as well.
Yeah. So Cash Patel was incorrect. Whereas, like Trump likes to say, wrong. You're wrong. You're fired.
Cash,
I'm not gonna go that far, but you're just wrong.
Are you looking at me, Cash, or are you looking at the left? I don't know where you're looking, Cash. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Minnesota allows individuals with the permit to carry a gun in public, concealed or not. And there's no state law against having a gun while at a demonstration. So there's two myths now debunked. This is factcheck.org, which is, again,
could be biased, could
be biased,
might
not be. In most states, including Minnesota, carrying a gun at a protest is legal. Cash Patel's mostly false claim about guns. I hate when they say that. They always have to predicate it with mostly false claim, baseless claim, this, that, and the other. It's like, can you just say
incorrect?
Cash Patel's claim about guns at a protest was incorrect?
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything that they can do to make the other side look like a huge liar and fascist, they're going to do.
That's why you got to read the headlines, people, and see where the manipulation is. Put in, instead of Cash Patel, put in there Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi, or whatever. Put it on your side of your person and see how that reads then. Or should you just be reporting fact as a fact? Cash Patel made a comment which turns out to be incorrect because, as noted, Minnesota state law allows you to carry legally at a protest. Rather than Cash Patel, lying sack of shit bastard motherfucker who doesn't know shit about shit. See the difference on how that headline was?
Right, exactly. Exactly. I would have liked to see that headline. You should write it up.
I would too. So, I mean, it just, you cannot, Patel said you cannot bring a firearm. Okay, we've already debunked it. Yes, you can. According to these many sources that I've been looking up. But this is interesting from the New York Post. Alex Pretti was no protester. Here's who bears blame for his death. Alex Pretti wasn't killed while protesting. And this is the point we're trying to bring home. He was not protesting. He was actively interfering in law enforcement operations. Whether you agree with it or not, you cannot do, and it is against the law. And prison time up to 10 years or something like that, depending on the state, is in order for you. This is what people don't freaking understand. I don't care if you agree with the way it would happen. He interfered. He was not protesting. He was actively involved in
interfering. Yeah.
And obstruction. So this is a common description of what was going on in Minneapolis on Saturday when the confrontation with federal immigration agents ended in a tragic shooting. Anyway, Pretti had been a mere protester. He'd likely be alive today and mañana. For those who don't know what that is tomorrow in Szechuan Chinese. So, if you've seen the video of the struggle with the agents, a protester is typically understood as someone who is making a point, often as a part of a gathering of other like-minded people, the liberal hive mind that it is. I'm just kidding. You can protest on this side as well. Usually, but not always, in opposition to something. Exactly. A protester might hold a sign outside of a coal-fired power plant calling it to shut down. It might go to Union Square Park to hear speeches on bullhorns. From bullhorns, whenever something happens and outrages The left or the right, depending on how you're looking at it, might march against the Iraqi war, Vietnam War. Anyway, he was not a protester. People, get it through your head. Again, you can look this up. We're sorry, real quick, and then I'll just let you say your
you're good.
Concealed carry at protests, state by state rules and what to know. We've already kind of established that Minnesota does have a law where you are able to carry at a protest with a weapon, loaded weapon. Concealed or open carry, I believe is what they said before.
A bunch of cowboys out there.
Yeah. And then one last thing, and I'll let you make your point because I want to kind of.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. The right to peacefully protest and its legal limits, and I will put links to all of these articles in there so you can read this stuff for yourself so you are better informed when you go talk to your libtard friends who think they know everything because they know everything and you're a stupid idiot person. You know?
Yeah.
Gain a clear understanding of the legal principles that define your right to protest, from protected actions to lawful government restrictions. The right to peacefully protest is a key part of life in the United States and a constitutional right as well. It allows people to come together in public to share their views. Knowing the rules that protect and limit these actions can help you participate safely. You have a constitutional, the constitutional basis of your right to protest. To right to peacefully assemble, because it protects the freedom of speech to peacefully assemble, and the right to petition the government to fix problems. That is not a fascist system, and therefore Trump and the administration are not fascist because you wouldn't be able to do this and protest this stuff.
Anytime they're met with any sort of disagreement, all of a sudden you're a fascist or you're a Nazi or you're this or that. Yeah, or you're racist. They have to sling this mud. And these are mud words that they sling constantly because they're so uninformed that that's the only ammo they have.
They're headline readers.
Right. And the shitty thing is, and the shitty thing is this left leading narrative that the media shoves down everybody's throat is in favor of that.
It's propaganda.
Because they do the same damn thing.
Yeah. It's propaganda.
Headlines calling them fascists. Are you kidding me?
No.
Look up the definition of fascist. The definition. Fascism, far right authoritarian, ultra nationalist political ideology. Ideology that it emerged in 20th century Europe, characterized by dictating power, forcible suppression, opposition. This is not what's happening here, people.
Yeah,
you're throwing those words around because you're wrong,
and you're trying to water down the definitions.
Exactly, and somebody disagreed with you. So all you can do is kick and scream, throw names, and throw mud. And these words are mud.
Yeah, and it shows your ignorance and your stupidity.
It really does. It really does.
People can often organize and speak out on public property, but their level of protection depends on the type of location. For example, traditional public space like streets and parks usually have the highest level of protection for demonstrations, like he could have been doing until he got involved with agents and scuffled with them physically. However, other public areas might have more restrictions, yada, yada, yada. What constitutes a peaceful protest, which is what he was not doing? Can we all establish that that is what he was not doing?
They'll never agree with us, Barn.
I know.
They never will.
But I'm going to put this in there anyway. And I'm going to put this link in there so you can tell your libtard friends that they're libtards. That's what we like to do.
Stop being so libtarded.
Stop being such a libtard. Oh, you can't say retarded. I said it pretty easily right there. And
I'll say libtard.
Rolled right off my tongue. Retarded libtard is what you are. So, anyway, many different activities are considered forms of protected expression when they are done peacefully and follow local rules. Marches on public sidewalks and streets, holding signs and banners with messages, chanting or singing slogans. Are whistles and honking horns also part of that? I can't remember. Probably.
Does that fall under chanting?
Chanting
and
or singing? Well, I'm whistling while I work.
Hell no.
Passing out flyers or pamphlets, gathering signatures or for petitions. Protected expression also includes symbolic acts such as wearing specific clothing or armbands, like little red ones with a circle with a kind of a black look. Would that be one of those armbands we're talking about?
Armbands of, if you know, the armband
of the imperialist. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. It's too much.
It's
too much.
While this principle was famously upheld, students in public school generally applies to protest setting as long as that. Okay, so government regulation of protests, we'll kind of end it here because there's more actions that are not protected. The right to protest does not protect activities that break the law. Violence against others, including police or people in different views or people with different views, is not protected and can result in criminal charges
or
damaging property. Was kicking out a tail light of an SUV,
federal vehicle,
from a federal vehicle, local vehicle, or even personal vehicle,
yeah,
through vandalism or looting is also illegal. So I think we are establishing how many laws Alex Pretti has broken. And we're not saying he deserved to die by 8 gunshots to the abdomen and the back and the neck and wherever else he was shot.
Sure, yeah.
We're not advocating that. We're just saying he was not a protester. He was not peacefully protesting or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
We are not saying he deserved to die, but he put himself in a position. It's like I'm walking across a freeway and I hope to make it across there without getting hit by a car.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically, in a sense, what he was doing. So you can read more of this and you can say, here you go, interacting with law enforcement at a protest. If you're questioned by police, you generally have the right to remain silent. However, under the Fifth Amendment, in some states, you may be required to identify yourself, properly use your right to remain silent, ask for a lawyer. You must state your choice and clearly and unambiguously. Simply staying quiet may not be enough. Many courts will recognize your right to record police officers in public spaces, but is not an absolute rule across the entire country. So there are limitations. You need to read your rights in your particular state and local jurisdictions and understand all of that before you go out and thinking that you have the right to do this shit. So you brought this up because in our little hamlet here, we had some protests about ICE here in Salt Lake City. And this was during the national shutdown. When was the national shutdown, by the way? Because this was a recent article that came out yesterday.
It was on Friday. And then, I started seeing social media posts on it starting like Tuesday.
Okay. Well,
go
ahead and tell me more about this, because this is the one you sent me to put up on the screen. So
and people wanted to say, okay, well, let's do a shutdown. Let's in protest. Okay.
Right.
Let's not buy anything. Let's not get gas. Let's not, pay a bill. Let's not, let's do everything we can to show opposition. Right.
Right.
And
which never works because not everybody's going to get this message. And I'm going to buy gas probably when you're not.
Yeah. No, I filled up my tank because I got paid. You know what I mean? Like
there was no line. I went right to the front in Costco.
Come on, man. I even used my points.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so there was this, nationwide call to do this or whatever on the socials and all that. And a lot of people responded. And now, so what happened though, too, is in our fair state here, there were some schools and some organizations that said, hey, we support this. One of them was the school. It's kind of a state-funded charter for kind of more advanced kids. I don't want to call out the exact name of the school, but for kind of more advanced kids and, that are into arts and science and math. I don't know. You guys can, figure that one out. But
advanced placement or whatever they call it.
What they did was they even sent out. So, if you're a parent with kids in school, they use a little app now to kind of send you messages and stuff. Well, the one that ours use in our district is called Parent Square. So they send out this letter saying that they are organizing a peaceful protest, and the students who want to participate are going to be
able to go without being
dismissed from their
or whatever
for their classes, and they're going to be able to gather, and they're going to go protest. So what it sounded like to me, I was like, okay, well, they're going to, whatever kids want to do that, they're probably going to line them up around the school, maybe do this kind of thing or whatever. They, and people can drive by and honk the horns and whatever, right? And that's kind of what...
Can they blow whistles too and everything?
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like in my mind. Well, no. And this was administrative led, because there were a handful of teachers that gathered these children, and they gathered them at a couple different schools, and they marched down to Washington Square. A lot of them marched up to the Capitol,
which, if you don't know, is right in the middle of downtown Salt Lake City.
Yeah. And they put them on the steps, and were chanting and doing their thing and protesting and whatever, right? So my child that is in that school, we had a discussion about...
We were talking briefly about this earlier, yes.
Yeah, a little bit briefly. And I'll try to keep this short and sweet, but we had a discussion on the reason they wanted to participate. And I said, well, you know what? You better check your facts. Do your due diligence, because what you're saying right now has no basis in fact. So check your facts, and then I might agree that you could go to this thing.
Right.
Because you have your beliefs, I have mine. It's fine. Right. I'm not forcing, I'm not handcuffing you to my beliefs, whatever. You believe something different, that's great. But
just get your facts.
Get your facts. Do your due diligence. Otherwise, you are going out there as a sheep. You are going out there as one in a million who, again, 80% of them don't even know why the hell they're there.
Well, you're going to a gunfight unarmed,
and you're led by people that you look up to, people that teach you every day.
Yeah,
and they're the ones saying we should do this, but they're not giving you a reason why. It's just F ICE,
backing it up with
That's what we're doing. We're protesting against ICE. Okay, well, what did ICE do? We're just protesting against ICE. They're bad.
She had no reason. Why?
No reason.
Now, she's not real old. She's what, 12, 13 or something?
13.
Like
and she had her thoughts. However, these are things that she has been told and not fact checked.
Yeah.
And I said, so if you don't know, you don't, exactly. You don't, just like these headlines.
Yeah.
I said, if you don't look into it and go to ground level and see the facts, don't look at the video from 10 seconds to 90 seconds. Look at it from the very beginning, just like our first intro. Look at it at the very beginning. Why did they run after him? Not just, they ran after him and tackled him for no reason. No,
they're evil.
Wait a minute. There was a reason. You got to check back. No. He spit on him, cussed at him, kicked their light out. That's why.
Yeah. It's like at a football game or basketball game, and the guy retaliates, and all you see is the second guy push or punch the other guy, but you didn't see the first guy kick him or spit in his face before
poke
that,
in
or
his eye or something. Yeah. And so it's that kind of mentality, folks, that we're trying, that we are trying our best to fight against.
Well, and just make people realize, look, there's more to the story. Go back and make sure that it is what you're seeing. Your eyes are seeing, or are you just get this little snippet, or are you getting that whole snippet?
But see, look at what they had them chanting. Power to the people. No one is illegal. No justice. No peace. We want ICE off our streets. Really?
By the way, people are illegal and can be illegal.
Exactly. They
that is a bullshit fucking narrative that they put out there. Power to people, granted, that's true. No one is illegal, not true. No justice, no peace, We want ice off our street. Oh, that's a good rhyme. Man, it sounds like a teacher made that up.
No peace, but we're peacefully protesting, but we're saying no peace.
But we're bashing in cars and we're fighting with the ICE agents and the police or whatever else. And
make that make sense to me.
Yeah,
we're peacefully protesting, chanting no peace.
Yeah.
Really?
The hypocrisy is dripping.
It is
here.
Mind-blowing. So, turns out the kids that were at the students from my child's school, somebody saw a gun. Guess what?
It wasn't a gun.
They all fled.
Yeah.
All the kids fled. The kids in my child's core group of friends, they went and wandered off downtown, walking around the mall, doing God knows what.
Shopping. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting food.
Yeah. Shopping. Getting
whatever
gas.
it was, they weren't in school.
Right.
Which was the whole point, really. They didn't give a shit about any of this.
Yeah. You think those administrators, tried to go and wrangle them up? No, they were running for their own safety because gun. Everybody runs.
Was it a gun? Was there really a gun there?
I don't know. That's what my kid told me.
Oh,
and I'm like,
did she see it? Did you say, did you see it?
Well, that's what her friends told her.
Did her friends see it? I'm just asking questions because that's what we do. Question everything.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I said, well, tell me the story. Now, aren't you glad you didn't go? Because you're the one here sitting screaming that you hate gun violence and this is why you wanted to go protest.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
where you were going to go, where you wanted to go, there could have been gun violence.
And I knew this, and that's why I didn't want you to go because I knew better. And you're mad at me, but now you see
I'm
that
the bad guy.
Dad was right.
But now you know
once again
that you shouldn't be where you shouldn't be over shit you don't know.
Right. Yeah. You know what? This is an excellent example of what we're dealing with in this world.
Literally,
right now.
Just in the last 24 hours, it's wow.
I mean, you see how ridiculous this shit gets. It's oh my God.
Salt Lake Community Bail Fund, the People's Freedom Party Utah organization of Utah young adult activists and the Utah Valley University chapter of American Federation of
Utah Valley University. Utah Valley University. That sounds familiar. What's have they been in the news in the last several months? I can't remember for anything.
Oh,
but doesn't the Freedom Party Utah sound like a communist fascist organization? Just
it
because
does.
of the name, because they're all named ironically something that they're not. No, this is
adult activists.
This is a lot of the bullshit that has been infiltrating into this state for the last few decades. Because when I first moved here many moons ago, you had some of this, and I don't recall ever having remembered there being a Republican mayor of Salt Lake City proper itself. Ever since I moved here.
That's really weird. And we're a red state, which is really weird to me.
Why is it that all of these large cities in every state, red or blue or purple, are all run by Democrats and perpetually run by Democrats and have Democratic mayors? For the most part, I would say 90+% are all run by Democrats, large cities everywhere. Why
you see a pattern?
Is this?
I'm starting to see a pattern. Again, like you said, you have to create a problem to create a solution, right? And if you don't have a problem, then people don't have jobs that could create the solution.
You don't have meaning in your life now.
You can't have the chicken without the egg. You can't have the egg without the chicken.
But
so
which came first, though, that's the question.
So if there's no havoc, then there's just peace and everyone's bored and some people don't have jobs. Oh, well, God, how boring is that going to be if there's just peace and everyone is cool with each other and we're not fighting, we're not yelling, and everybody's
I'd rather have
following
constant chaos.
Everybody's following the law.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, the constant chaos is good for our show because we have shit to bitch about. But
right.
At the same time,
yeah. A friend asked me, you're doing another podcast? You have stuff to talk about? I'm like, oh, we have stuff we could talk about every single day.
We have shit to talk about in our sleep.
Oh, yeah. And we do. Sometimes we don't sleep.
But yeah,
this is
the shit
everywhere.
It's here too. It's touching, but the thing is, it's touching our youth, and that's what pisses me off because
in not a good way.
They should not be saddled with this kind of bullshit and having to pick a side.
Well,
or even having to do the damn due diligence that I told my child that they needed to do. That is adult
one side.
shit. Yeah, but that's adult. Those are adult things to deal with. If you even want to deal with them as an adult.
Why are college kids and teenagers worrying about this shit?
Yeah, when you're getting pressure to do this as a college kid and a teenager, I mean, what the hell is our society coming to? You know what I mean?
Well, it's being engineered. It's being engineered just like our weather, which oddly enough is a segue into our next topic that we're going to go talk about, which will be the weather manipulation. Anyway, we think we have beat this horse down, but I think we needed to deep dive into this a little more. Yeah. And we want you to check out our Etsy store, therudebarn.etsy.com. Please, pick up something there. We have some fun stuff for you. Support the show, like, subscribe, share, multiply, divide.
Well, and like Barnes said too, sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong, and we love a conversation. And if you do not agree with, if you adamantly do not agree with this, please
just be respectful.
Put it in we can have a conversation.
Let's be adults.
But put your thoughts in the comments. We'd like to hear them. We'd like to have a conversation, and we'd like to talk, and we'd like to get your point of view. So please do that for us. It helps the algorithm, helps us out a little bit. We don't, we don't make any money doing this. We just love to talk. We love to hear ourselves talk, right?
Yeah, and we do that a lot. So welcome to the talk show. I don't know. No, but we do. We love doing this. We didn't do a lot because we had to work lots of jobs that came up, and that pays the bills. This doesn't, but we love doing this. We love having fun doing this. And we like to bring out the fact that, just like you're saying with your daughter, stop getting the one side of the argument, one side of the issue, and realize the people who are telling you this, do they have your best interest in mind, or do they have their best interest in mind? Or are they trying to push and spin a narrative one way or the other? And if that's the case, or you don't believe it is the case or whatever, just check into it and make sure, because you might be surprised what you find.
Don't be blind, folks.
Expect.
Question everything. There it is. Question everything. All right, gang. Thanks for joining us. We love you. Thanks for the support.
We'll see you on the next one.
Take us out.